Oh, hello there, Year 4. Hello. My name is Lil. So you see, the problem is, Year 4, I'm in a bit of a pickle, bit of a problem I've got. So let me fill you in. My grandfather, he's called Ezra, right? Ezra, lovely chap. And he's in hospital. He's ever so poorly. He loves Egypt, and he taught me all about Egypt when I was a little girl. And you see in my room here, I've got my posters. I've got books. I love it, I do. Ever so interesting. This morning I was off to visit my grandfather, you see, in the hospital. He's ever so poorly. He's under the doctor. So I went off to the hospital to visit him. And as I was leaving, I saw this package on the doorstep. There's a little picture of the package that I found, all wrapped up in paper, very odd. And so I know I shouldn't have, but I did open the parcel. My curiosity had got the better of me. So I opened the parcel, and inside was this ever such an odd looking jar. And I remember my grandfather, he taught me all about the canopic jars in ancient Egypt. But they're fascinating objects, fascinating. So I looked around the house, and I know Grandpaps will be cross with me when he finds out, but I did look around in his office, and up and down, high and low I looked, and I eventually found it. I knew that it would be there somewhere. So I found the translation of the hieroglyphics that were in the package. And the problem is that the hieroglyphic translation terrified me right down to my core. It said, whoever removes the canopic jar from Egypt, they'll die. Terrified, so I am. And now I've got the canopic jar and I don't know what to do. So to make things even stranger, Howard Carter's friend, you know Howard Carter, the chap who's doing all that investigation in Egypt. He found the tomb of Tutankhamun, and he had this friend, you see, Lord Carnarvon. Well, this morning I found out Lord Carnarvon, they found his body, dead as a doornail he was. Here he is, investigating Tutankhamun, as you do, you know, with his friend Howard Carter, and all of a sudden he's found dead. Lots of people have said, oh, you know, he was poorly, you know, he was unwell, but with all this going around about the curse and the translation, I do think it's quite suspicious. I need you to help me, Year 4. Can you help me, Year 4? I've heard you're ever so clever. I mean, really what I need is, I need you to write a newspaper article. We need everybody to know about it. If everybody knows about it, they can get in touch with the newspaper, you see, give them any extra information. Maybe you could interview Mr. Howard Carter, ask what he thinks, ask what's been going on, you know. You must be sure to use quotes. Now, quotes are ever so tricky. But you must use direct speech punctuation, you see. Your teachers can show you how if you're not sure. Needs to have an excellent headline if we're going to get loads of people to read it. So if it rhymes, if it's got alliteration, or if it uses puns, you know, I find this works. When I'm reading a newspaper myself, I always find it useful if there's a little introduction. You know, at the beginning of the article, use the 5 W's, you know, your when did it happen, what has happened, where did it happen, who was involved, all of these things, you see. So I'm hoping that if we can get lots of people to read our newspaper articles, then actually we'll be able to find out more about the murder. I say murder. Is it a murder, or is it a mysterious death? Or is it pure coincidence? I don't know, you see. I don't know. And, oh, you mustn't forget, newspaper article writing. You absolutely must write the events in chronological order, when they happened, in time order, you see. when you are finished writing your newspaper articles, obviously eventually they will go to the newspapers, and the newspapers hopefully will be able to publish them, you see. But I do know that both myself and Mr. Buffum would love to read them. Now, I'm not going to give my address out on a video that I'm sending to you guys because, you know, I was in school and my teacher did teach me all about e-safety. And in your e-safety, I learnt that you're not supposed to share your personal details. So what I need you to do is I need you to finish writing your newspaper articles. Just pop them in an envelope and give them to Mr. Buffum, because Mr. Buffum he'll read them and then he'll pass them on to me, see. Now what I will do is I will pass them on to the newspapers, so hopefully they can be published and we can get to the bottom of this awful mystery. That Mr. Buffum, he's a lovely chap, so he is, but he does love presentation, lovely neat handwriting, and because he is the head teacher, you need to use your best vocabulary. You don't want to put your head teacher to sleep with boring, snoring words. You've got to use the most fantastic historical vocabulary, you know, hieroglyphics, Egyptology. You might find actually that your teachers can help you there, and perhaps also using a thesaurus. Thesauruses are great, you know, to find those synonyms. So yeah, get involved in that year 4. Ever so useful is a thesaurus. So, bit of a summary, year 4. Terrible mystery involving the Canopic jar, but I don't want you to write about the Canopic jar. I want you to write about Lord Carnarvon. That's the real mystery. I want you to tell me where he died, when he died. Don't forget that lovely headline, so that it's eye-catching, you know. Neatest handwriting, guys. You've got to have your neat handwriting. So, I'll leave it with you. Pop them in an envelope. Give them to Mr. Buffum. You know, I really do hope that we can find out some more.